Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, we've got a special treat. We have Shizzam on. Now, for those that don't know, a lot of the endgame content that I do make is on Kiasma's account, but Shizzam also lets me on his account. A lot of the good information that I do have to lend you guys comes directly from him. He's an absolute beast. Unfortunately, at the moment, he has dropped down to position 5 in the draft arena. He had been sitting at number 1 the whole time. I woke up this morning and there's been a big upset, so waiting to see if he can climb back up to the top. He's very active on Reddit, making some really nice guides over there. So Shizzam, tell the people who you are, how you got into gaming, AFK Arena, all that stuff.
Hi, Shizzam here. Hi everybody on Volkin's channel. So yeah, I'm part of Cloud, and I first got into AFK Arena about a year ago, around July, August time. I had a bit of spare time. I hadn't played games for a while, and it just tickled my fancy, and I've been hooked ever since. I love the way, the strategy behind having 5 heroes in a team, and I really enjoy, in particular, the PvP side. So if you're in Region 8, you may recognize me from Legends Championship. And if you're a Reddit user, I do post some guides on there. And to give a bit of a story about the guides, if you haven't heard this before. So I guess it all started when you asked me, Vulcan, to do a endgame hero tier list, which was fantastic. I enjoyed doing that. And I did it from my experience, and I'd taken a look around what formations were being used in the kind of boss fights where I was at in chapter 34 at the time. And when we published the tier list, I think it was very well received, but one person, Gwendolyn, actually posted it on the community chat within the game, and there it didn't receive such positive reviews.
It's a dangerous place.
Yes, it is. I know it's unmoderated, and people, no matter what you say, if you preface it with take it with a grain of salt, and bad heroes can do very well in certain situations. You still have your typical, why isn't Shamira at the top, etc.
Yep.
But cutting a long story short, I knew we could do something a bit more objective, just based on data. So I took a look at all the winning formations in chapter 35 when I got to chapter 35, and kind of presented that as data for the wider community. And I'm currently working on something similar for chapter 36.
Yeah, those were really interesting, those ones. But I do remember at the time, it was sort of a way that the people who just get into 35 and the first ones there may be overpowered and do whatever they want. And do you think 36 is going to be the same, or do you think 36 is going to be more of a, this is the best teams that they had to use to progress? Plus, we've got the change to the way the campaign works, so it could see some different teams used due to the fact of not trying to play the safe teams first.
Yeah, so that's exactly why I want to do it now. So I'm not at chapter 36, I'm at chapter 35, and one of my guildmates, Almo, has actually collected all the data for me. So when we did chapter 35, when I took a look at it, the game had stalled at chapter 34 for quite a long time. The developers hadn't released chapter 35, but 35, 36, and now 37, etc. They're all dropped quite rapidly. So people were still in chapter 35 when 36 and 37 were dropped. So I do think chapter 36 formations will be a better reflection of the hero lineups that the leading players are using. I do think this will change a lot with the 1.51, the ability to refresh, to clear one round at a time. And I do want to capture the winning formations before that change and after. So that's the idea behind releasing one now, and then perhaps in a month or two, releasing another set of results, data then.
Yeah, definitely, because I just know from my little bit of testing there, like, you can get away with a lot riskier teams in your early formations just due to the fact that you don't need them to win every time, so you can just do those 1 in 8 chances and have a reliable chance to progress. It's really nice. But moving on into the main topic we want to talk about, I think everyone knows I'm really enjoying this draft arena format. I just wanted to get your general thoughts on it, and then we'll go a little bit deeper. You're obviously enjoying it, I think, but just your general thoughts around it, the strategy and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think this is one of the things you can't overhype. Before I quit games, I actually played DOTA, so Defense of the Ancients back then, and I'm very used to these 5 hero versus 5 hero battles, and pulling up synergies, and in there you've got all these different draft modes, like this one, and it's just great to see um, this put in place by the developers, because like you've said, they're not making money from this, but it's just such a fantastic feature. Everyone can experience top end heroes in a PvP format, very accessible, and it's really great that you can see what they've got, what your enemy's hand is, and try and start, you know you can you can create some smoke and mirrors. You can put a hero to bait them, like you can lure them to use the divers or the CC at certain positions, and you can just start messing with their head. And it's great that you can think of, okay, this is what my team, this is my winning conditions, this is their winning conditions. Is there anything I can do to throw them off their game, or force them to put their key, the carry in a certain place where I can easily take it out?
And then
It's
on
just,
on top of that, I've like something that's been messing with my head completely is something like Arthur. Just talking about baiting people. Like Arthur, like I never like as soon as I see an Arthur, I'm just scared because originally people were putting their two back row heroes behind Arthur. Then it became like you fight someone with an Irons and a Rowan, and you're like, okay, Irons is going behind the Arthur, we're good, just hit him. And then they put like an Athalia behind Arthur, and then they put Irons on the other side. So then I start expecting that, and then they just put the Irons behind the Arthur, and I'm like, I cannot pick where this is going to be. It's just complete mind games, and that's where it does eventually go that you were talking about, and
yeah.
it's just crazy.
I mean, in the test server where it's had at the moment, there's not that big a pool of players. So you start recognizing the people you're playing against, and you can start getting a feel for what they like and what they don't like. And it makes it a bit easier to do these mind games. But I
Yeah.
think once it's on the main server, this will be a blank sheet of paper every time, and you'll have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm pumped to see how it goes on the main server because I mentioned you just got knocked off top spot. I don't know about your thoughts. I made a rule last night that I'm not going to play this game, play this format past 6 p.m. because I got onto a bit of a loss streak, ended up at like rank 70, and then I pushed myself into the top 20. I'm 29 now, but I got to avoid staying up late playing this format. And like I said, like I love this format for that reason. You can just completely lose time into it, and that's when you know it's a pretty solid format that you're looking at when it's that enjoyable or frustrating, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was at first got knocked off the top spot because somebody overtook me. Tried to win my top spot back, and I think I dropped all the way down to 110th.
Oh,
I think I got
no.
a bit tilted.
Yeah.
Few times my phone ran out of battery, which wasn't great in the drafting stage.
Oh my god.
So I've worked my way back up to fifth, and I think I'll leave it there for today and have another stab at it tomorrow.
Yeah, always starting fresh helps. Now I wanted to get your opinion on something because obviously you're very end game. You've had a fair few wins in the Champions Arena, stuff like that. The balance of this, because me looking at it from a player who I'm not at that end game phase where I get to test stuff in Champions Arena, stuff like that. I think a big factor of this one is not just the fact that you can test every hero, because there's a lot of people out there who can test every hero. They do have every hero, all that sort of stuff. I feel like the no impact of added factors of especially the what's the twisted essence thingy, the tree. I feel like not having that in there really changes heroes around because of those stat differences, and I'm seeing a lot of like heroes that are
So,
quote unquote bad being more effective.
so the question is, with the removal of things like the tree, do you think that changes how the what heroes are good? Is that the question?
Yeah, just your perspective, because you do have that tree. I just feel like all the different stats can affect different heroes differently. And I feel like in previous, like for you testing and stuff like that, because everyone's tree and stats are at a different level, it's hard to get a fully balanced gauge on where the heroes are actually at.
Yeah, so I do a lot of testing for Legends Championship, and we do test with tree, without tree, and see the effect of the tree. So tree has kind of it increases all stats by a linear amount, which makes all heroes do more damage and have more defense and have more hit points. But the in-game skills have higher scaling for attack abilities. So attack tends to have stronger scaling than defense. So that meant that the introduction of the tree made Legends Championship more around burst damage, and
Yeah.
Furniture's gone the other way. It has much higher. It kind of buffs your defense stats about triple what it buffs your attack stats by. So it kind of smoothed it out. But from a campaign perspective, it made damage dealers much tougher. So it moved the PvE meta towards having lots of burst damage. In PvP, it originally moved it towards burst, but now with Furniture, it's moving back towards more stall type and sustain type lineups. In this context, you stall and kind of like bruiser type lineups have are much stronger because you have that defense stats because everyone has solid furniture, but the tree has been wiped out, so your Euron can't just cut through two or three heroes within 2 seconds. That effect has kind of dropped out. So if you were to take a look at what does very well in this game mode, it will look quite different from what does very well in Legends Championship.
Yep. And what are some of your like obvious good picks that you just love, and then sort of heroes that are sort of dark horses that you've gone, oh, these guys are actually all right in this format?
So the big thing is it's one round. So your heroes that have a one trick pony or one trick wonder, like Kelther, like Odin, they're absolutely fine in a situation like this. It doesn't matter if they die. Whereas in a 3v3, format where surviving heroes may continue on to the next match, you don't want heroes that have a lot of bonuses after they die. So your Albedo, your Kelther, and to a lesser extent your Odin. So these heroes look much better than I thought they would.
Yeah,
But
pure. You go.
yeah, I mean, from me, for what I really like in this format, I don't want to give away too much, given maybe I'll be seeing you in the test server, but I really like I really like the invade strategies. If you can get into the enemy's half and stay in the enemy's half, I
Yeah.
think a lot of people find it very hard to cope with that type of fight. So that's what I really enjoy doing.
And something that I've noticed, I want to get your gauge on it, is things like the maulers, just due to raw pressure and self sustainability, really have a place in the game in this format, just because teams aren't properly formed. So just having heroes that are just a little bit self sufficient and self sustainable, but then also put heavy pressure on the enemy early, are really strong. One that I really like is Screg. He just gets in there and mounts up so quick, and you can't see him, and he just starts really wrecking the lines, and he's got his little Scregs that go through and stuff like that. Are you finding the same thing in that, like, the heroes, not necessarily because you can't put a full team together, those heroes that are just more good on their own are starting to shine a bit more?
Yeah, I mean, Screg is amazing in PvP. He's featuring a lot in top end PvP before this. So yeah, absolutely Screg. But I am seeing that your Warwicks, with the three furniture, he has the cleave, which no no one uses in campaign. But in this type of format, you can really feel these non-core heroes with these furniture buffs. Your Almus, your Warwick, your um, Tawns. These heroes which you wouldn't normally invest so heavily in.
Yeah.
They're just getting so much. You can see their get a lot of good use out of them. I mean, I agree with Mourners so much. You're looking at. I mean, they play into the strengths of invading the enemy half. But I also think Graveborn are really solid on this. They've also got a lot of self-sustain, and they play a lot of tricks with your Thorin or your Kelther. They can really mess up what the enemy's trying to do.
Yep, and one that gets me is Silas is an absolute beast, but you just don't know how he's going to work, and sometimes he flops, but a lot of the time he absolutely destroys me. And then Odin is the same. Odin is that one that just the RNG, because, and then the other thing is you don't, I spoke to Linker about this, you don't know who's got the most power on your team, who's got the most attacks. So things like Rosaline and stuff are dangerous choices because you don't know what's going to happen with those. But yeah, that was just a bit of a side topic I wanted to mention. But yeah, the Graveborn and Maulers I'm definitely using more than Lightbearers and Wilders. I definitely agree with that. Something else I'm really enjoying is if I do get 2 Hypergeans, because I feel like it's more of a rush meta, talking about lunging and stuff like that. So I don't know your thoughts. What do you think about the Hypergene if you can get 2 of them, even if they're not optimal on your team, because there's not a great option always? Do you like getting that 2 Hypergene bonus, or do you think it's not as valuable?
Yeah, in this type of format, Hypergeans, Celestials, and Dimensionals, they're all really strong.
Yeah.
It's very, I only really build around faction bonus if it makes a huge difference to the enemy win condition. So if somebody has an Ains, and they don't have an Albedo or something else to buff Ains's damage, then that faction bonus can be the difference between surviving one ult or not.
Oh,
So
100%.
there are times when I go for it, but it's way too easy to predict if you go for it. Everyone can see your lineup. So if you've got 3 Wilders and 2 of everything else, they're going to choose Maulers. So you don't. I personally don't like forcing my team to get a faction bonus, and the Hypergeans, just getting one of them, that 30% defense buff, that makes such a big difference. So yeah, it's always worth adding a Hypergean.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing I wanted to get your thoughts on was the balance of the game. Now, I know for me, sometimes I go into a match and I go, there is no chance that I can lose this. Sometimes I go in and it's the opposite. There's no chance I can win it. Do you think there's a way they can balance it out a little bit better? Like you get into some matches and the enemies have a full team of Celestials and Hypergeans, and I get like 2 of every faction that I can't even get a faction bonus. Or the other way around. Like I said, I've had a lot of games where I just go, oh, I'm sorry, dude, this sucks, but you don't have a chance. What's your thoughts on trying to balance it out a little bit better? Because like it is a nice balanced format, but sometimes you can get destroyed by RNG.
So the way I've seen something like this balanced before is you don't each get 10 heroes. You pick from a wider pool, which you share.
Yep.
So if you'll both have a pool of 20 and one person picks one and then the next person picks 2, etc., and then that's how you build it up. But I don't see them. I mean, this is such a great game feature. I don't, and they're not making any money from it, so I don't see how they're going to invest that extra development just to make it a bit more balanced. I think it's beggars can't be choosers. This is just such a great thing.
100%. And the other thing about that is, does it then make the format a bit more tedious and less enjoyable to play for the larger player base that's not as in depth into it? Is the other thing that comes to mind for me, seeing as it is a very more casual based game for the majority of the player base. I know up that pointy end it's not casual at all, but yeah, it might also affect that balance of fun versus tedious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a really exciting format. I'm hoping I can queue into you in the actual ladder sometimes soon, because I need someone really high rating to boost myself up. What's your rating at? 1792. Oh, you're out of my window. I think the original pairing window is 100 points. So maybe after a couple wins, I might be able to pair with you. But do you have anything else that you want to mention before we get into our battles?
No, other than I love all the content you do, and yeah, it's always a pleasure to speak with you and work with you.
Beautiful, thanks, dude. So let's jump in. We're gonna set up some matches here. Let's go sparring. I'm gonna hit you up and let's go. So first to 4, best of 7. This is gonna be good for my experience, I tell you what, guys. Okay, what do we got? Oh, I don't like my hand at all. Oh, that's disgusting. I hate you so much right now.
You're not gonna win that.
I like, and these are the matches for those wondering, where it's time to experiment, because like there's no way I win this. So it's pure experimentation time, and I'm gonna go with this because he's got. What's your opinion on Zolrath as a win condition? On like he's just to me he's absolutely busted. I know Linkus was saying he was having trouble using him, but I just like when you have Zolrath plus another win condition like a Khazard, I just feel like it's GG. Let's see, what am I gonna do here? Yeah, there's Shizzam. I think his mic's cut out. It's alright, he'll get it sorted. Hopefully it makes him misplay because he's worried about his mic.
I think we're cutting in and out. I can't quite hear you. It's probably my connection.
I've got you now. Yeah, Zolrath. What's your thoughts? I just think he's an absolute beast, whereas I know Linker said he was having trouble using him. No, I don't, I don't think Shazam's internet can handle... Oh, yeah, he's got the stylus as well.
Zolrath, he's my favorite hero.
You love him? Yeah, I just find him amazing, because he's not only a massive win condition, but he can also enable your team as well. Like, if you have something else that benefits from that stall at the start, it's really nice. Alright, what's he got? What's your last one? I wish they'd show us the full team formations in this screen. Yeah,
I didn't.
Kaza. Oh, it sucks. You're cutting out a lot.
I didn't pick that.
Didn't you?
No,
I think your internet's wrecking you, but I don't think you had to worry about what you picked for your last slot.
Yeah.
I don't think it was going to impact it too much. Nice. That is one to Shizzam. Let's go again. Let's do this. Yeah, I get so excited when I see Zolrath.
Yeah, he's amazing. Oh, sorry.
Oh, and Silas. And Silas. Actually, Ukiyo is another one that I found really good in this format.
Yeah. His furniture's good.
Alright. What's your thoughts on putting your back row first? Because it sort of exposes your ideas. I still like doing double tank first. Do you always do back row first? Oh, connection issues. Rip.
Good about what my enemy's going to put in the front row.
Yeah. See, I'm in this situation as well, like I spoke about, where I have no other faction bonus, so just deal with it.
Second, let me...
Okay, I was planning on that Ukiyo. At least I've made that pick. I could have had a way better team. I didn't even look at my team because I had Warwick and Keltha, both of which can put enemy front row into Verk's traps. And I didn't even think about it when I opened up because I saw the 2 hyper chains and I got excited.
Fair enough. It's just, my team is just disgusting.
Yeah, your team's pretty solid. But Warwick can do it for the team. Look at him go. Doesn't matter because you Zolrath dies and then you just win.
Yeah.
GG. Okay, that's 2 to Shizzam. Alright. I need to make a big comeback here. I need to make a big comeback.
Well, now you've got Zap
and
Arthur.
And having said that, you do have Irons. Okay, this is a much better one. At least we both have a win condition, which I'm pumped about. So I'm gonna do something strange here, and
I know what you do.
Okay, so I go you. Does that work? That goes up there. Okay, that's that. How am I going to play this last spot? What's he got again?
Surprised you didn't go Arthur.
Yeah, I'm sort of still unsure on Arthur. I'm basically trying to set up a board that allows me to hit your irons no matter where he was. So I had the link to get damage to him if he went top. I had Euron to get him if he went bottom, and I had Cecilia to get him if he went middle. That was
There's
sort of
one problem.
you do have Alberto. This is very true.
No, Ainz is immune to CC at the opening.
Oh, that's
seconds.
right. That's right.
I've fallen into the trap you've done before.
Actually, it worked not too bad. I ended up going straight for him, but didn't work out. Okay, GG. Oh, that's right. And there you go. I forget about that. Does he gets hit by a Thalia, doesn't he?
Yep. So ones that dive are fine, but ones that pull don't work. So Nara doesn't work. Euron doesn't work.
See, this is how you get pro. Yeah, that was well played.
You should have gone Grizzle.
Yeah.
Grizzle.
Okay.
Oh, I've got Ainz again.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We've still got this. We've still got this team. Don't worry. It's only Shizzam. He's not a good player. He'll mess it up. I've actually got a really decent hand too, to be honest.
Yeah, you have to rely on lockout.
I'm actually leaning into the idea of outlasting your burst, which I think I might be able to pull off. I'm going to have an experiment here.
Yeah, I predicted it.
Because you said I have to rely on lockout, it means I'm just straight up not even going to use this because I want to prove you wrong.
Just have so many options.
Okay, I've gone something completely different. I want to see if this works.
You've got Zap and Lucretia.
I know, but you said I was going to have to do that, so I went something different. I want a big brain, the big brainer.
Well, you might have.
Survive. Everyone survive. See that? See that? Big brain. Please keep going, team. Please keep going. Yes.
Oh, you got it.
Yes. I like trying just to out survive an irons. That's the strat that I always go for. Like, obviously, I would have gone Zap Lucretia, but and then you said, nah, I was like, I had to try it. All right, paid off. Okay, 3-1. 3-1. Could this be a comeback? All right, I actually got a
Glad you're
decent
keeping score. I'm
hand.
not.
I got a decent hand. You've got... I think I've got definitely the better hand here, without a doubt, like 110%. You do have Rigby. I absolutely love Rigby in this format, to be honest. Okay, that Verk is annoying. I'm seeing a Verk, definitely. Verk Odin. worked alright.
I think you're gonna win this.
I feel like I've got the upper hand, but I never know. The tree is actually really strong. The heals are actually ridiculous in this. Man, that Silas, he puts in so much work, it's not even funny. He's so busted. Alright. 3-2 to you. Can we come back? I think we lost your mic again, but let's see how we go. Ooh, I got a pretty good hand. What do you got? Okay, what's he got? We'll have to talk about him like he's not here. I mean, Isold is definitely come like the Isold. He's got pretty good stall, and he does have the Keltha. He's got a pretty solid Graveborn core. I feel like I should win this, so I really don't want to lose. You. I really want to make a faction bonus though, which I can do with Thalia, so that's not an issue. I'm leaning towards Titus for this. I really like Titus. Okay. He's got them axes. What's he going to try and put in the next ones? He's got solids for solid damage too. I'm going to go with that. You know what? I might just put a Thalia into him. Because I can see a Keltha coming out. Solus is my only other threat, but I've only got a 50-50 chance, whereas this way I can nullify a lot of his early damage. So I think we'll do this. I reckon he might have DC'd. We'll catch back up with him. Unless he's big braining me. That is not the team I would have gone for. Oh, he does get the group
Coming
up.
in and out.
Okay, I gotcha. I thought you might have DC'd. I see your strat. Lucky I did my Athalia choice where it was. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's pretty much how I thought that would go. All right, give us a sec, guys, and we'll try and get audio
What's the
connected.
score? Oh, it's close.
3-3, the deciding match. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Okay. I think who do you reckon has the better hand? I think I have it.
You slightly, yeah, but
Yeah.
you can't really build stall.
No. I can't. Yeah. I'm not going to give you too much because I want to win. He has the Lucretia. I feel like I got the better base team, but I feel like you counter me very well. Let's see how this goes. And the reason Shizzam keeps dropping out, I think his internet bugs out when he's trying to play and do the voice at the same time. So we'll just talk smack about him while he's not here.
I can hear you now.
Shit. Okay. Okay, you got two things that really scare me. Last position, what do I do?
I wonder. It's kind of obvious. You love your faction bonus.
I ended up
Sure.
waiting too long. I just threw the Flora in there, which is a bad choice. It's okay. I could still have this. Zap's dead. Zap's dead. Ah, rip. No.
I love Totem Dude buffing.
Oh,
Oh
Totem.
no,
Oh, got
no,
it. Got it. Came back,
you got it.
man. Yeah, Totem Dude is such a huge dark horse in the, like, not dark horse. I think a lot of people are starting to realize it, but him and also Gorvo just scare me so much. Like
Yeah.
Gorvo, like just the reflect damage and all that sort of stuff. But the problem you were about to say, Totem Dude buffing, but it's a matter of seeing who he can buff because you don't know at the start of the battle.
Isn't it always the front line?
Hmm.
Isn't
No,
it always the front line?
that's who he heals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his buff is the highest attack. Or the highest power. Wait, I'm gonna check this. Give me a sec. Let me check this because I want to get this out. Where is Totem Dude? Buffs the ally with the highest attack power, granting them 40 haste and 20% normal attack speed for 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was always going to be Lucretia and Iron in that lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like I was talking about earlier with the Rosaline and stuff like that. But anyway, dude, I need you to get back on top of the ladder because it didn't seem right waking up this morning with you down there in 5th. Thanks for the matches. Thanks for everything. Any closing statements that you want to talk about before we leave?
Nope, it's been fun.
Beautiful. Too easy. Well, I really do appreciate you. I really do appreciate you coming onto the channel and all the info. Like I said, guys, all that good info that I get about Abyssal Expedition, anything like that comes directly from Shizzam. So massive thank you to you again, dude. And yeah, just thanks for coming on the channel.
Cool. All right. See you later.